Are the Saints going to have a top 5 offense next year?
Pass is intercepted at the...
That may be the greatest catch I've ever seen.
Diggs! Sideline! Touchdown!
The Saints offense last year was below average in league in scoring and in total yards per game. But this year, under Kellen Moore and all these new acquisitions during the offseason, they are going to go over what they had last year and finish top 5.
Yep, they're going to take a major leap.
They definitely.
That's what I think Christian was trying to say.
The major leap, that's what it was. I couldn't think of it. Last year, Tyler Shough was very impressive as a starting quarterback. The Saints went 5-4 as a starter. When he started. So I'm just so fucking energized. Okay. Tyler Shough was 5-4 as a starter, and they didn't have too many good players on the offense besides their offensive line, an underrated Juwan Johnson and Chris Olave. But this past offseason, they acquired Travis Etienne, who had a great season last year, and Jordan Tyson in the draft with the top 10 overall pick, who is a very talented wide receiver. And they also drafted Oscar Delp, who we think is a pretty underrated tight end as well.
I mean, if you look back at our other videos, when we talk about the mock draft and we talk about some draft prospects, you know how high we are on Jordan Tyson. I believe that Jordan Tyson was the best wide receiver in the draft, and he went 4 picks after Carnell Tate. So I think Jordan Tyson is going to be an X factor for the Saints, and I think he's going to make Shough so much better. As you mentioned before, Shough had, did you mention it? I don't know. Shough had 2,300 passing yards last year. He had 13 touchdowns. He averaged 255 yards per game, which is kind of impressive for a rookie.
Impressive, yeah.
It's definitely above the average quarterback. Yeah. He looked really good, and of course, Olave had his best season in a long time when Shough played. So I think this offense is ready for an even bigger leap, especially with how impressive Kellen Moore's resume has been throughout his whole career.
Yeah, and Olave last year, talking about Chris Olave, he had I think 100 receptions, over 1,100 yards, and 9 touchdowns. That was just a spectacular year for Chris Olave, and Tyler Shough was able to help Chris Olave and give him some nice balls, and that were not hospital balls, so that way he wouldn't get as many concussions as he used to have. And then they acquired Travis Etienne, who had over 1,100 yards and 13 total touchdowns. And now he's going to be in an offense with Chris Olave, Tyler Shough, and a good offensive line too.
And we didn't even mention Alvin Kamara, who's still probably going to be back, or he's still going to be there, and he's going to provide an extra receiving threat. He's not as good as a rusher as Etienne anymore, but Kamara out the backfield is still going to be an elusive threat for Shough. I think it's great.
Yeah, I think Kamara's an underrated winner from the Saints getting Etienne, because now at his age and how far he is into his NFL career, he can't be the primary back anymore because his body can't take it. So now with Etienne there, he'll get more rest during games, and he'll just be more well rested for the games, and then he'll be able to be good in third down situations or just receiving situations.
Not to even mention Juwan Johnson and finishing the year, he was incredible when Tyler Shough was playing. Him and Tyler Shough seem to have a real connection. So I think this is probably fantasy advice, but Juwan Johnson could be a top 10 fantasy tight end.
Yeah, he definitely could.
And I think he could just produce regularly as well, as he always usually does, under the radar kind of player.
Yeah. And last year, talking about Jordan Tyson, he is a little bit injury prone, but when he is healthy, he is probably he probably would have been the best receiver in the nation last year. And now the Saints get him as opposite of Chris Olave. He's a great complement type of receiver to Chris Olave. And last year, in only 9 games, Jordan Tyson had 700 yards and 8 touchdowns. Having 8 touchdowns in 9 games is really impressive. I think if he's able to stay healthy, the Saints offense is going to explode with him, Olave, Etienne, and Tyler Shough.
There is one downside, I think, and it's the wide receiver 3 on the team. There really isn't a guy who you're oh, yeah, that's good. So if Olave or Tyson goes down hurt, the receiver room kind of looks a little shaky. But I mean, Devon Vele produced a little bit last year, but I don't know. It's still not a great room. Calvin Austin Jr. was not bad. I mean, Bub Means, he had like that one game where he was pretty good, and everybody thought he was going to be the next big thing. But it's a little scary. But going back to our point of Kellen Moore is an elite offensive coach. Every single time he is coaching a team, his team always produces a top 10 offense.
Except the Chargers, because the Chargers suck.
Oh, okay.
All right, continue.
So in 2019, with the Cowboys, they had the #1 total offense in yards and scoring. And in 2021, they had the same thing, the #1 offense in yards and scoring. And then when he moved to Philly, they had the #8 total offense, which is impressive for such an average quarterback in Jalen Hurts. Also, they won the Super Bowl that year, so that's also something pretty impressive. And between 2019 and 2024, his offenses have been ranked #5 in overall points per game. So with Kellen Moore comes great offense. And I think the second year with Kellen Moore, the Saints will have a great offense.
Yeah, they definitely will. The only thing is that their defense, I could be wrong, but is a little bit weaker than their offense. But their offense is going to be amazing this year. It's going to be really fun to watch. It's going to be like a high-flying offense with the 1-2 punch of Etienne and Kamara, the receivers in Chris Olave and Jordan Tyson. And the offensive line, too, they have a good offensive line, so they'll be able to help protect Tyler Shough. And Shough, last year for a rookie, he looked very impressive with those. That one play that really impressed me was against the Buccaneers when he was getting sacked and then he rolled out to his left and then ran for the touchdown.
Yeah.
That play was like really impressive to watch, and I just think Kellen Moore is going to be able to get more of that out of Tyler Shough heading into this next season.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah, so that's just it. We really think that the Saints are going to have a top 5 offense next year, and don't be surprised when that happens. Thanks for watching this
You
video.
heard it here first.
Exactly, you heard it here first. So thank you guys for watching, and just tune in for our next video. We'll see you then.